Lord Supreme Wise Mind of Law, bringing you another episode of Welcome to my video channel, to my YouTube channel. Today's Supreme Mathematics, Knowledge, and Understanding, which brings forth culture. In today's degree, in the 1 of 40, it asks, but brings rain and hail, snow, and earthquakes, right? And before I even get into that degree, right, I'm going to break something down before I even get into that, right? Whenever you deal with the idea of a question that says but, right, you're going to be dealing with an excuse. Reason being, the reason being is because you're totally neglecting responsibility. You're not really the idea of being accepting responsibility on your own. So what ends up happening is the simple fact that you always say everything got to be with a but. Yeah, I was gonna work, but I was gonna go to work today, but I'm tired. Yeah, I was gonna go make this money today, but I don't feel like going outside. I was gonna go build the gods on the earth, but I'll talk to them tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just making a way for yourself, instead of sitting here on a day-to-day basis making an excuse. Excuses, excuses are the nails that build the house of failure. Always remember that. I was told that by Earth before. Excuses are the nails that build the house of failure. So that basically means that you're neglecting the simple fact of your success by you putting off by making an excuse for it. That means it's not a high priority. You know what I'm saying? Um, knowledge is principles. Understanding is priorities. If your priorities are not based on your principles, where do you see your value system at? This is how people can see your value system, because between knowledge and understanding you have what? Wisdom. Wisdom is also work and value. It's what you cherish the most, what you see as most important to yourself. All right. So pardon me. I'm gonna get into this. I'm gonna get into today's degree. I already put for those of you brothers and sisters that's out there that are not subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel, Lord Supreme 26 at YouTube.com. All right. Also, you can add me on Facebook, Scientific Intelligence, and on Instagram, Intelligence 27. All right. Now, I only do this because of the mere fact that I'm striving to open the minds of the of people that don't know me from afar. You know what I'm saying, and make them think outside the box, to be able to help them keep it simple. You know what I'm saying? I know brothers and sisters, they come across some lessons, they might not have an understanding of what the lessons mean. So I try to do the best thing that I can. Well, I try to do the best that I can in order for me to help brothers and sisters understand these lessons by breaking them down real simple. All right. Today's degree in the 1 of 40 says, but brings rain, hail, snow, earthquakes. And it says that they continue daily to teach the 85% that all you see, such as rain, hail, snow, earthquakes, comes from a mystery God that no one will be able to see until they die. And this is believed by the 85%. The 10% knows that when a man dies, he'll never come back and tell the living whether he lied or not, because the dead is never known to return from the grave. All the history of Islam never revealed anybody coming back from a physical death, but there is a chance from a mental death, because the lost found once dead mentally, and many were revived from it. But they were not physically dead, they were only mentally dead. All right? Now, you got knowledge and understanding. 13. The 13th letter in the supreme alphabet is M, master, right? It's either one or two things you're going to do. You're either going to be the master or you're going to be mastered, or be controlled, I should say. You're going to be the controller or you're going to be controlled. It's one or two things, right? So, with that being said, when you look at that lesson tells you this. The question in itself tells you. The question in itself tells you. It just tells you in itself. But brings what? Rain, hail, snow, earthquakes. It shows you that. The question in itself, just think about it, right? It says that. So if you really look at it, it'll say this. Just think about it. It'll say, if you say but, this is what this will bring. Rain, hail, snow, earthquakes. All right. So now, being in a triple stage of darkness, being 85%, being blind, deaf, and not really knowing the signs of everything in life, right? More than likely, you're gonna neglect responsibility when it comes down to you accepting what you have to accept. In other words, let's just say, for instance, you were supposed to study for a test, an exam, and you went out partying instead. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna study for my exam, but I'm just gonna do it a little later when I come back from, going out with my friends and shit. That right there just brought rain, hail, snow, earthquakes. And the reason why I brought rain, hail, snow, earthquakes is because that's a condition. It's a condition that needs to be acted upon. It's a situation that you need to take care of, but you're not taking care of it because you're making an excuse for it. So what you do is I'll go out and then afterwards, I would do it now, but I won't go out with my peoples. You just made an excuse for why you don't want to do what you want to do, or why you don't want to accept responsibility. The 13th degree in the 1 to 36 says, what is his own self? Well, he wouldn't know what his own self is if he keep lying to himself, or she keeps lying to herself. And, it says they continue daily to teach the 85% that all you see, even with your physical eyes, even with these two eyes, such as rain, even seeing the physical conditions, still not accepting the simple fact of the responsibility that you need to accept. So what happens is what ends up happening is you end up being just a neglecting, abandoning type of person. You don't never want to accept anything. When it comes down to like either your livelihood or the way that you live, that is your way of life. Your way of life is non-acceptance. You don't accept responsibility. You're in denial because it tells you. It says that all you see comes from a mystery God. A mystery God is an unknown source. It's an unknown outside source. That's what mystery means. It means it can't be explained. You know what I'm saying? Um, Anything that's mysterious is hard to explain to people, right? That's pretty funny because when you look at everything in life, right? Everything has a solution to it, a solution to the problem. Every problem has a solution to it. It's just a matter of whether you're going to solve the problem right then and there or not. Pardon myself for one moment. I was sitting here. Hmm. See, the thing is that right when you were 85, you don't really have to take on too much responsibility unless you know unless you choose to. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to accept the simple fact that you do certain things, you get certain results because of the mere fact of, you're not in your right state of mind. You know what I'm saying? When it says what is his own self, he wouldn't know because he's not in his right state, mentally as well as physically. So what ends up happening is this. What ends up happening is what ends up happening is he just begins to neglect and deny everything. You know what I'm saying? Like he never wants a man. He or she never wants a man up for anything. They just want to sit there and just go excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse until eventually it just boils over, and then you just like, you know what, fuck it, I gotta take responsibility. But this lesson is telling you not to take responsibility. Blame somebody else. The lesson is telling you to use a scapegoat. Matter of fact, let me let me break this down to you, right? Um Let me give you the breakdown of this term scapegoat. All right, I'm gonna show it to you. All right, see, it says this term is for one who's punished for the misdeed of others is the result of mistranslation. The term was coined by 1530 William Tyndale, who misread the Hebrew word Azil, the proper name of the Canaanite demon, as is literally the goat that departs. In Leviticus 16:8, the scripture describes how two goats should be prepared for an offering. Lots should be drawn, and one should be sacrificed to the Lord as a sin offering, the other to Azazel, and set free in the wilderness. You know what I'm saying? It says this term. This is where the term is used from. You know what I'm saying? This is the link that I went to. You know what I mean? So that way you'll know. All right. Let me turn this camera back around. Now, a scapegoat is a person that blames another person and shifts responsibility off of them. They basically don't want to accept the responsibility. So what they do is they blame something. That's why they said in the lesson it says they continue to teach the 85% that all you see, such as rain, has not come from a mystery God that no one will be able to see until they die. So you're using that as a scapegoat for you to neglect the simple fact of your responsibilities and your condition or your situation, right? Like, mind you, let me give you a good example of what I mean when I'm talking about this lesson. A good example of that would be, knowing that you got to pay bills, knowing that you got to pay your house mortgage, your car note and shit, but you blowing your money, knowing that you got to take care of your responsibility, but instead of taking care of them, you neglect them by doing other things other than taking care of your responsibilities, which is instead of you taking care of your bills, you'll go out and party. Instead of you staying home and cooking, you'll go out and eat. You know what I'm saying? It's like you don't have to use those things. Well, I feel that, or I only did it because using people as scapegoats, shifting responsibility. That's basically what that lesson is talking about. It's telling you to neglect all responsibility, don't accept nothing, and just continue daily to lie. Continue daily to be duped, hopes, and had. You know what I'm saying? Another thing is that, right? When you begin to neglect responsibilities, you begin to use that becomes your culture. You know what I'm saying? That's your way of life. Like, you never come to terms with yourself or who you are. Never. You never come to terms. You just sit there on a day-to-day basis and, you constantly deny. Oh, man, I got to get myself together. Yeah, I'm all right. I'm straight. But in reality, you really not. You see what I'm saying? And it says this is believed by the 85%. The 10% knows. Now, my thing is this. The 10% knows the shit that they tell you. They're telling you, no, it's all right. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? You doing some fucked up shit. And they see it. They know that. They know that when a man died, they never going to come back to tell the living what they lied now. The 10% knows this. That's why they conceal shit from you. That's why they take shit from you. That's why they strip you of your identity. That's why they give you religion. That's why they give you Christianity in order for you to not accept responsibility and just blame it on anybody. That mystery guy, actually. That's what you blaming it on. You're not really yourself. You're other than yourself, which is the previous degree in the 1 of 36, which was yesterday. What is his own self? No parts of his own. Yes, that makes him other than himself. You know what I'm saying? These lessons are used to help you internalize, to take on responsibility, to stand on your own too. Because when you say but, it's always going to be an excuse. Everything after that is bullshit. Anything after but is bullshit. Actual facts. So, the lesson in itself, it tells you, continuing daily to teach you lies. The 10% teach the poor lies. That's all they do. That's all they do. They teach the poor lies. And all they do is just tell them to neglect responsibilities. The 10% are those people that you go to for. The 10% are the people that you go to for counseling. Those are the people that sit there like the imams, the deacons, the reverends, pastors, and like, well, don't worry about it, sugar. Don't worry about it, baby. Just have faith in the Lord, and He's gonna make everything all right for you. Nah, what you need to do, you need to have trust in yourself, and what you need to do is you need to take responsibility and stop being a fucking grown ass man or woman neglecting your shit. because you using that as a fucking scapegoat to minimize the reasons why you do what you do. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? When you come into the knowledge of yourself, right? That's the first thing you have to do. Be honest with yourself. The first thing you have to do when it comes to knowledge of yourself is being honest with yourself. Open and honest with yourself, and willing to unlearn what you have learned throughout your years. But you being in the triple state of darkness, being blind, deaf, and dumb, and not being able to swim them 9,000 miles, you'll constantly be caught. You'll always be wiped out by the current. You'll never be able to flow with the current because you're always wiping yourself out, because you're always making an excuse for everything. That's what that lesson is saying in the 1 to 40. Continuing daily to teach the 85%. They continue to teach the 85% lies, deceit, treachery, trick knowledge, poor knowledge, all types. That's why you have to know. That's why you have to know and understand. That's why you got to know and understand what the whole deal is. You got to get the knowledge first. But all knowledge is not good knowledge. Know that. That's why they say knowledge is information, because it helps to inform you whether this is good or not. The understanding, you will be able to see it crystal clear. You'll be like, nah, I'm not going to take that. I'm not going to do it. Nah, I don't want that. Because that's not going to help me. You see what I'm saying? Your culture is your everyday sum total people activities. The things that you do on a day-to-day basis. You know, how you dress, how you walk, how you talk, your whole mannerism, your social etiquette, how you are with your parents, how you are with your girl, how you are with your woman, how you are with your man, whatever the case may be. But if you constantly always saying but after everything, you're always making an excuse, and you're never going to accept the responsibility of trying to be who you are, because you would already. That's why the 13th letter is M. See how that all goes hand in hand? Master. Either going to be master or mastered. You're going to be the controller or be controlled. You have two choices. Choose one. And choose wisely. You know what I'm saying? I trust and will that these videos help you in regards to breaking down the lessons, because I know and understand that there's a lot of brothers and sisters that come into the knowledge of themselves, and they get these lessons and it's like in a formulated state. Mentally, they're still developing into the idea of coming into themselves. So they begin to, look for guidance and direction. I'm just the one that helps try to facilitate that process of helping you get what you need in order for you to be successful in your undertakings. All right. So, just comment below. You know what I'm saying? Send me a comment. Let me know if I broke something. You didn't understand something. If you didn't understand, just please feel free to ask. You can inbox, whatever the case may be. Like I said before, subscribe to my channel, Lord Supreme 26. You can also follow me on Instagram, Intelligence 27, and you can also add me as a friend on Facebook, Scientific Intelligence. All right. So with that being said, y'all have a blessed one. I trust and will that you have a good evening and enjoy the rest of the evening. And I'm going to enjoy mine. Peace and love, 5% Nation.